Hello and welcome to another video from Ethereal Gaming. Today we're going to be looking at the Loza M4A2 Sherman. It's currently available in Wargaming's premium store, either to purchase on its own or as part of the general Sherman birthday package with the M4A3E8 Fury tank and a Sherman VC Firefly. So in terms of looking at the tank itself, you apply the camouflage, but it does come with some additional sort of cosmetic features on the side of its tank, but overall has the classic Sherman shape. This is a Russian tier 6 premium medium tank, and the one difference in terms of the package you buy is that the commander, Sergeant Loza, comes with 6 cents already fully trained. Rest of the skill 100%. Rest of the crew skills 100%, whereas the other tanks, the commanders, only come with full 100% crews, including the commander. So you can see overall the shape of the tank there. We are using it with vents, rammer, and vertical stabilizers. No bounty equipment, no bond equipment, as always. No premium consumables because we can't afford it and we don't have it, and also the same with the highly skilled crew. In the gameplay we're going to see we only had actually one of the field mods, so no statistical bonuses there. So when looking at the tank, it has not great penetration from its main gun. It's 128 average on its normal round. It only does 115 damage, but its rate of fire is excellent. It's got a 2.7 second gun loading time. It's got a 2.15 aiming time, but its dispersion at 0.38 not the best. When we look at the other tier 6 tank in the package, the Fury M4A3E8, is based upon obviously the tank in the film Fury. As you can see, very different cosmetics, but overall the shells are pretty much the same, with the same rate of fire, same gun loading. Slightly better gun dispersion on this one at 0.37. We're using the same equipment here, and we can see it has slightly better view range. But then we compare that to the Sherman Firefly, and as again you can see slightly different cosmetic changes. What we can see here is this one has again slightly better view range, but the alpha damage and penetration on this is significantly better. So you are now getting an average of 150 alpha damage. That's quite a lot better. 171 up from 128 average penetration on the normal rounds, and those premium rounds going well over the 200s. With an alpha damage, say up at 150. Now you are trading some rate of fire, going from that 2.7 to a 3.7 gun loading, but you do have better dispersion and better aiming time, and overall, while you have slightly weaker hull armor in this tank, you do have better turret armor at 76 versus the 64 in the Loza's Sherman. But either way, while the turrets can certainly bounce a few shots, they certainly aren't the toughest, and you're not going to be bouncing many rounds in this tank. So back to Loza Sherman. This is what we're going to be looking at in the gameplay today, and this is a game that took place a couple of days ago, and I was lucky enough, because you always need a little bit of luck, but also we had a great game where we were able to finally get our Mastery Badge Ace Tanker in this vehicle. So let's jump into that game now and see. Okay, so here we are now in our Loza M4 Sherman. We're playing Cliff. We have all tier 6 tanks, so we're certainly not top tier, but we're not bottom tier. We're just a nice battle where we're all the same tier, which for me I think are the best battles, when you're all the same tier. So straight away we're going to head over to the eastern side of the map, and the thing concerning me here is going this side of the map and not fighting over the middle. If we don't hold the hill and the lighthouse, it becomes very difficult, because you're going to be taking shots from above and you're going to be spotted the whole time. So let's see what happens, but I've got confidence now at MT25. He's shooting up there, and he's going to take on the Type 64, which is also going up to the hill, and the Type 64, he's taken a lot of damage there, so it looks like our MT25 is going to be in a good position. So I'm going to continue pushing around the side of the map here, but oh no, our MT25 has been destroyed before he even makes it to the top of the hill. And at this point I'm starting to think about what I'm going to do to maybe play a little bit more cautiously. The enemy have the hill with a Type 64 and we're going to have to potentially deal with that somehow, but it's impossible to get a shot on him right now. So we're coming round here with support with the T34-85M, and we're going to see, and he's instantly spotted a Type 58, but I'm keeping my eyes on that Type 64 who can shoot me wherever I am. But somebody gets a shot on him, comes round the corner, and we do manage to kill him for 22 damage. And now I'm looking to get a shot on that Type 58. Now I bounce off the turret. The problem being there's a little ridge in the ground, and my gun depression there just popped up. We couldn't get the shot, but we managed to get a second shot as he moved, and for 108 damage. Now I know the Nashorn was in there, and so I put a blind fire in the bush, but I'm pretty sure I didn't connect that shot. So now I'm taking it cautiously. I don't want to run out in front of a Nashorn, he's quite nasty, but I've got plenty of support. There's the Nashorn, he's turning, I get a shot into him, and you can see the great reload, but it's not enough to get a second shot into the Nashorn tank destroyer. And I'm going to continue pushing forward with the M6, the Porlac, and the T34-85, but our M6 is starting to take quite some damage. But I'm coming round using the terrain to help give me some hard cover, and then seeing if I can get a good shot on the Nashorn. But oh, the Nashorn is killed before I can get that shot. But I've now spotted a tank destroyer. We managed to get a quick snapshot into the back of that tank destroyer as it goes up the hill, and there's an enemy Porlac tank as well. We find an area and we do connect with an area that we can penetrate with our normal shells, but we have switched to premium shells to penetrate that tank destroyer. There's another enemy tank on the hill. Where did he come from? So that AC4, he's now on top of the hill. We get one shot into him, we get a second, and look at that rate of fire. The reload time is insane, and he just sits there and takes all the rounds, lucky for us, and we're able to finish him off, and we're already now up to 1,000 damage combined. But now I've got to deal with a Chinese tank destroyer and also a Porlac tank. But we managed to get 2 shots into the tank destroyer. We are using our premium rounds here. Another shot into the Porlac tank, and we're trying to wear down some of the hit points in the Porlac tank there. But as you can see, that gun dispersion at 0.38, it's not helping us, and we're unable to connect most of our shots, even with the Porlac tank, let alone into that weaker spot on the turret. So the dispersion there, and that is one of the weaker things of the tank. It doesn't have the armor. It's got a great rate of fire, not great penetration, but the dispersion can be a problem. So we're continuing now to see if we can to wear down the Porlac tank, and I just can't seem to do it. So now I'm going to look to see, that wasn't working, so let's change it up and see what we can do. So we're going to come up and see if we can get a shot on that T34-85M. There he is, and we're not fully aimed, but we do get the shot. And I've spotted the M44, but I make a mistake in that I'm too focused on going after an ARL and the Porlac, and rather than looking at the M44. But then when I do notice him, I don't want to go and chase him because I will get shot in the back. So I'm trying to get a shot on the ARL, but I can't see him. So I'm going to continue pushing forward and at least see if I can spot for my team. I realise now that I'm on my own, so I'm having to be a little more cautious. And there's the Porlac tank, and I can't see him there. I try and put another shot in his track, but it bounces. But the Chinese tank destroyer comes around the corner. I missed the first shot, that could have been catastrophic. The second shot is on target, and we destroy that. But suddenly a Hellcat appears from the other side of the map and gets a shot on us, and Hellcats can be nasty, but I can't see him through the fence. So we're now struggling to get visual. That fence is just blocking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out, see where we are on that tactical view, see where the tank is, get target on him. There he is, and we put a shot through the fence all the way through into the Hellcat, and we put a second round in just to see if we can follow up, but we don't manage to kill him. So we're just taking it a bit easy. We're down to 270 hit points. That's not much with the tanks that are left on this battlefield, but we're going to try and spot the Porlac tank for our team. So we start moving cautiously forward. We can see our ARL on the other side, and there's the flank of the Porlac tank. We get one shot into him, We get a second shot, but it bounces off the armour, and I'm sure that I'm going to get hit. I do get hit for 250 on our third shot, but luckily for me, the ARL manages to finish off the Porlac tank, but we're up to 1,945 damage combined, with 20 hit points left on this tank. So we managed to survive. As I said, it takes a little bit of lady luck to often have these great games with a tank. And this is by no means the best game in this tank, but for me, it's a pretty good game. So we're now going to come around, see if we can get behind this KV2 and get at least a final shot onto him. He's taking a lot of punishment as he's getting overrun, but we can see him. Look at that aiming time. Aiming time is just enough to get a final shot for 109 damage and a critical hit, completing the match for 1,791 damage with 436 assistance, which gives us 2,000 combined, 4 kills, good enough for a Mastery Badge Ace Tanker on this vehicle. Let's go back to the garage. Okay, so here we are back in the garage following that match in the M4A2 Loza Sherman tank, Russian Tier 6 Premium. And as you can see, that was an excellent game. Now, if you are looking at marks of excellence on this, to get your third mark of excellence, it's 710 damage. So having a 2,000 damage combined game was great. But something to keep in mind is you are going to be matched all the way up to Tier 8, coming up against tanks like the Skoda T56 and similar. And in those cases, you're not going to be able to do much in this tank. And I think that is one of the potential issues with the tank, is you are going to see those higher tier games. It doesn't have many outstanding features that can help you. It's not fast enough to deal with those matches. It doesn't have enough armour to deal with those matches, and the gun isn't good enough. So there are some tanks at Tier 6 that just have sort of 1 or 2 outstanding features that can at least see them achieve something in those higher tier games. And this tank, I think, is going to significantly struggle even on our premium rounds. As we saw, we're still only sort of around the 160, 165 average penetration on those premium rounds, which even in with Tier 8 matches is going to be a real struggle. And at doing sort of, as you saw, we were doing like 109, 115 damage. It's going to take an awful lot of shots to worry a Tier 8 tank. So that's just something to bear in mind. But overall, it's a reasonably fun tank, as you saw in the game. Its rate of fire is absolutely outstanding. And we ended up, as I said, with our Mastery Badge Ace Tanker on this tank. So a good game there with a little bit of luck thrown in to boot. As always, thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing on our YouTube channel, following us on Twitter and Facebook Gaming, as well as following us on Twitch. Live streams will be on Facebook, YouTube and Twitch on Mondays, Thursdays and Sundays. Sundays is random game night, where we do 2 hours of a random game and then 2 hours plus of World of Tanks. So please join us for that. You've been watching Attribution Gaming, and we'll see you on the battlefield.